Hey guys! In a previous video, we did a hummus recipe. In this video, I want to show you how to take that hummus and reimagine it a few different ways for snacks for you, your partner, or your kid's lunch. So let's get started. First, little crudité, or as my mother calls it, crudité, which is basically just vegetable sticks in a dip. Here's our hummus, easy to go. You can bring it to work with you or your kid's lunch. And then these are three vegetables that I really like that can last for a few hours before you guys eat it. Little Persian cucumbers. I love these. These are my favorite kind of cucumbers. So I'll just cut the ends off and then slice it into quarters. I also like the size of them. They're really easy to dip. They're very dip friendly. Okay, so here's a little handful of Persian cucumbers that we'll put in our little baggie here. Now for celery, I always like to, in the celery there's these strings, and sometimes when you bite into it, it gets stuck in your teeth. So I like to remove those strings by cracking the end, and you just pull it down like that so the strings come out. And you want to do both sides. See that? So that's stuff that you don't want stuck in your teeth. So I do that every time. When I'm cooking with it, when I'm using it for crudité, I always take the strings out. And then we can just cut them into strips to go with our crudité. I think my mom just likes making things sound fancier than they are. I think that's where the crudité came in, which is very funny and endearing. I love that. Carrot. These I actually got at the health food store. If I get them at the farmer's market, sometimes I'll just give them a good scrub. But whenever I get them at the store, I've just gotten into the habit of peeling them. And again, cut the ends off and then cut them into quarters. Sometimes when you're cutting carrots, it's easier once you cut them in half to then roll it to the flat side so it's nice and secure. I don't always do that, but for people who aren't as comfortable cooking, it's a good trick. So you roll it to the flat side so it's nice and sturdy. So here's the first example of a little snack on the go. Hummus and some beautiful vegetables. That is a great snack. Here's an idea of another thing you could do with the hummus. You can make a turkey wrap. So this is just organic tortilla. Even if you're eating it a little bit later, or you're bringing it to work, or your kid's bringing it to school, I like to heat it up in the morning. It kind of changes the consistency of the tortilla, makes it a little softer. So I always heat it up in a pan with a little bit of olive oil just to kind of make it a little more malleable. So the first thing we're gonna do is smear the tortilla with a nice chunk of hummus. I love hummus, so I tend to kind of line the middle with quite a bit. So you kind of see it's a nice schmear, as they say. So then I always like having a little bit of crunch in my tortilla. So I'm gonna quarter up the Persian cucumber just like we did. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of shredded iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce, I really like for things that I'm taking with me for the day, or that my kid's bringing, that my kid would bring to school, because it doesn't really wilt that easily. Butter lettuces and other mixed lettuces, they tend to really wilt, and iceberg is a little sturdier. So for something like a wrap or things that you're gonna be eating a little bit later, I tend to like to use iceberg because it holds up pretty well. So just gonna line that. Let's add a little bit of the Persian cucumber. And I think just a couple down the middle will add a nice crunch. A couple slices of turkey. A little bit of salt and pepper. If it's for my kid, I do less pepper because she's not super into pepper. If it's for myself or my partner, all the way fresh ground black pepper. Just a little bit. And there is a nice little wrap. And you can just, you could cut this in half. You could cut it in little, pinwheels for your kids if they like that. Or you can just wrap it just like this, throw it in your bag, bring it to work with you. Super easy. A third example of how you can use hummus that I do a lot is if you want to be a little light on carbs, Again, iceberg lettuce makes a great lettuce boat. Super sturdy, really crunchy and really satiating if you're trying to do less carbs. This is a really cool trick. So what I'll do is get a nice little bowl like that, nice scraping of hummus down the middle. Then I'll do, again, I love Persian cucumbers for their crunch. They really just make a difference. It's a yummy thing I've just been doing for a while. You can also layer it with carrot, a little strip of red pepper, 2-3 slices of turkey, a little salt and pepper on the top. And then what I'll do is take a little bit of poultry twine. So this is, used to like tie the drumsticks together. So what I'll do is I'll just tie it into a little boat, just like that. And what I'll do is I'll make a few of these, put them in a little storage container, and bring it with me to work. Usually the lower carb thing is not usually for my kid, it's usually for myself or my partner. So something like this, I'll just throw into a storage container, bring with me on the go. But it depends. Sometimes if your kids are into this and they're trying to do less carbs, this could be great for them to bring, to school. So here are 3 examples of how you could reimagine your hummus into a few meals. It's super versatile. I mean, you can do so many things with. These are just, 3 go-tos we go to in my household. I'm so happy to share them with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you know when I put up a new video. And I'll see you guys soon.